Good evening and welcome to Game Time Situation. I'm Brendan Bittner.
And I'm Matt Brubaker. We've got a terrific show lined up for you. We'll take a look at the football team, which continued its winning streak on Saturday, and also the men's soccer team played in a battle of wills last week, and we'll tell you how that turned out.
And we have our first winter sport getting underway.
That's a lot to cover, so I think we better get started.
Well, what time is it?
It's game time. Who?
With an unbeaten season on the line and 13th ranked Northern Kentucky coming to Ashland, the AU campus was buzzing for this men's soccer match. And all the fans who came out to the game were treated to an entertaining game that featured 2 overtimes, a scuffle, a near brawl, and 8 cards. The Eagles got on the board in the 21st minute when junior Adam Spanbauer pounded home his 15th goal of the season. The score stayed the same into halftime, but it was after the break that things got wild. Within a span of 4 minutes after the break, 3 cards were issued, and the Norse scored the game-tying goal. Included in the cards was the second to Ashland's leading assist man, Tom Rankin, which forced him from the game and made the Eagles play a man down for the remainder of the match. The game went into overtime, and at the end of the first overtime, junior forward Ross Ashley got into a scuffle with a Norse player, but no additional cards were issued. The game ended in that 1-1 tie, pushing Ashland's record to 12-0-1. So after all that excitement, adrenaline, and used-up energy, the Eagles had to travel to Northwood to take on the Timberwolves, and they could not avoid a letdown, losing 3-1. Ashley gave the Eagles the lead in the first half, and Ashland took that 1-0 lead into halftime. But Northwood's Keith Loft scored 3 times in the second half, while Ashland's offense could not get a goal on their 9 shots. Eagle keeper Ryan Cruz made 6 saves in the match. Matt, the Eagles suffered their first loss on Friday. Did they recover on Sunday?
The Eagles soccer team bounced back on Sunday after suffering their first loss of the season to Northwood 2 days earlier. The Eagles struggled early, allowing 2 Cardinal goals within the first 15 minutes, as Brandon LeBlanc scored in the 4th minute and Larry Ferriera notched another score in the 13th minute. The halftime score favored the Cardinals 2-1, and Cardinals forward Brent Walker made the score 3-1 in the 63rd minute. But the Eagles stepped up to the challenge and put their best foot forward, during the rest of the contest. The comeback was started by Kenny Hewitt when he also scored in the 63rd minute off of a Tom Rankin pass. Moments later, Ross Ashley forced overtime in the 79th minute when his shot sailed past the Cardinal goalkeeper Luke Deming. The Eagles found a way to win quickly as Tom Mangotic scored a goal 59 seconds into the overtime period to seal the deal for the Eagles. The Eagles moved to 13-1 on the season and 5-1 in GLIAC play as Saginaw fell to 5-7-2 overall and 1-5 in the GLIAC. The Eagles then suffered their second loss of the season last night at Mount Vernon Nazarene in a 4-0 shocking shutout. The loss leaves the Eagles ranked 20th in the nation and 2nd in their region with a 13-2-1 record, and Mount Vernon Nazarene, which has now won 7 consecutive matches, is now 11-3-2. Mount Vernon Nazarene led in shots 18-1, and 8 of those shots were on goal. Mount Vernon Nazarene keeper Alex Stout registered his 9th shutout of the season, giving him 21 career shutouts, which is a school record. Brendan, that's all we have for men's soccer. How has the football team been doing?
Well, Matt, the Eagles entered their road game at Northwood on a 4-game winning streak, and they raised to a 5-game streak over the 1-win Timberwolves. The Eagles, as they have done all season, jumped to a big first-half lead after the first quarter. They led 13-0 after a pair of touchdown passes by Billy Cundiff to Johnny Long and DeJuan Harvey. In the second quarter, the Eagle defense surrendered 10 points, but the offense scored another 2 touchdowns to take a 27-10 halftime lead. Damaris McCoy ran one in, and Joe Horn caught a 61-yard touchdown pass from Cundiff for the 2 scores. The second half was played a bit tighter, but the Eagles still came away with the advantage as Cundiff ran one into the end zone and Long caught a 53-yard touchdown pass to make it 40-10. A Greg Berkshire field goal made it, and 2 touchdowns by Northwood put the finishing touches on that game, and Ashland won 43-24. Cundiff threw for 4 touchdowns and ran for 1. He didn't even get GLIAC Player of the Week, and he threw for 363 yards. DeJuan Harvey ran for 97 yards, and 3 Ashland receivers had at least 80 yards receiving, including Long's 111 yards and 2 scores. Matt, could the Eagles continue their winning streak against Saginaw Valley?
The injury-plagued Eagles faced a tough task against Saginaw Valley State on Family Weekend here on October 18th. The Eagles were already without starting cornerback Terrell Lewis, and things only got worse for the Eagles as DeJuan Harvey suffered an ankle injury late in the first quarter. But don't worry, Eagle fans, the offense looked as sharp as a Thanksgiving carving knife in the first half. Thanks. As DeJuan Harvey did find the end zone from 1 yard out before he went down. Later in the quarter, the Eagles found themselves up 2 touchdowns as Billy Cundiff found Nick Belanco on a fade route for a score covering 14 yards. Freshman kicker Greg Berkshire tacked on a field goal in the second quarter to give the Eagles a 17-0 lead, and then later Cundiff and Belanco connected again late in the first half on a 36-yard pass and catch, capping the scoring at 24-0 at the break. The second half was a struggle to say the least for Ashland. The Cardinals scored on their opening drive of the second half when tailback Brandon Emiot, on his way to 182 yards rushing, scored on a 2-yard run, making the score 24-7. The Eagles' only answer for the Cardinals in the second half was a 20-yard touchdown run by freshman speedster Carlin Isles. And after that drive, the Cardinal defense shut down Ashland, and their offense erupted. Cardinal quarterback Dan Stiefel started the rally by finding his big tight end Galen Stone in the end zone for a 36-yard touchdown on 4th and long. The next scoring drive was credited to the running game again as Emiot scored, this time from 10 yards out, cutting the Ashland lead to 31-21. The Ashland faithful began to feel nervous and nauseous, as many of you remember the first 2 games played this season. Galen Stone found the end zone again with 8 minutes and 16 seconds left on a 33-yard touchdown strike. That's all the scoring they would get as the AU defense tightened up and won a nail-biter. The Eagles now move to 6-2 overall, 6-1 in GLIAC play, and they will travel to Grand Valley for a night game against the best team in the GLIAC this Saturday. That was a lot to cover, so we'll take a timeout and catch our breath, and we'll be back with more Game Time Situation right after this.
Parents, there's something you can do to protect your kids from drugs and alcohol. Combine ground beef with egg, tomato sauce, breadcrumbs, and spices. Bake in an oven-safe pan at 350 for 50 minutes. Serve hot.
This is Jamie Lee Curtis. Children who eat dinner with their families are less likely to smoke, drink, or use drugs. So, have dinner together every day.
Delicious.
A message from CASA, the National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University.
My name's Andy McDonald. I ride this useless wooden toy for a living. It's hard. I've been doing it for 13 years. I'm still lame. I do a trick called a 540. Took me a good 6 years to learn. There's a whole generation of skateboarders out there that are just as talented athletically as any basketball or football player. It takes somebody that's not going to be afraid to fall down a lot, because you definitely will fall down. You're not a failure until you refuse to get back up. Drugs are only going to hinder what I'm trying to do. That right there is my idea of getting high.
Is she thirsty or diabetic? Is he tired or arthritic? Subtle behavioral changes can be early signs of disease in pets. These changes are often less obvious in cats, which can be better than dogs at hiding illness. But a wellness exam from your veterinarian twice a year can help detect, treat, or prevent many health problems before they become serious. So call your veterinarian and schedule your pet's wellness exam today.
As parents, we do whatever is necessary to ensure the health of our children. Sadly, most parents don't realize that their child's first eye exam with an eye doctor should be between the age of 6 and 12 months. I urge you to take your baby to an optometrist for a comprehensive eye assessment. It can literally change your child's vision of the future.
Infancy optometrists offer a no-charge eye assessment for infants 12 months old or younger. Call today to find an optometrist near you.
Welcome back to Game Time Situation. On October 10th, the women's soccer team was looking for some kind of momentum at home after dropping their last 4 matches. They found a small semblance of that as they hosted Ferris State Bulldogs and beat them 2-1. The Eagles took a 1-0 lead in the 34th minute when Brittany Demas delivered a perfect corner kick to Kelly Usher, who headed it in for the lead. In the second half, Ashland scored on an identical play with Demas, again serving the ball on the corner, and Usher's head putting it in to the back of the net, making it 2-0. The Bulldogs made it interesting a few minutes later on the benefit of an own goal by Ashland, but the Eagles and keeper Krista Erbst held on for the win. Herbst made 8 saves in the match. Next, the Eagles had to square off with the top team in the country. I wonder who that could be, Matt. Do you have any idea?
Probably Grand Valley.
That's right. The Lakers disposed of Ashland easily 6-0. The Lakers opened the scoring just 54 seconds into the game and never looked back, as the GLIAC's all-time leading scorer, Katie Taffler, dealt 3 assists and scored a goal to keep Grand Valley unbeaten on the year. Ashley Elsass added 2 goals for the Lakers, who took a staggering 29 shots in the match. It was all Herbst could do to keep the ball out of the net, and she still made 12 saves. Matt, the Eagles struggled against Grand Valley at home. How did the Eagles handle their road trip?
On October 17th, the women's soccer team traveled to Northwood to take on the Timberwolves. The game was one of those hard-fought contests that no one really deserved to lose. The game was scoreless for the first half, the second half, 4 minutes into the overtime, when AU sent a crossing pass towards the Wolves' goal when it hit off a Northwood defender and into the goal. Hey, a win is a win, right? Junior goalkeeper Krista Herbst recorded 6 saves for the Eagles, and Ashland moved to 7-9 and 4-6 in conference play. Northwood's lone mistake cost them the victory and dropped them to 1-11 and 0-9 in conference matches. 2 days later, the Eagles traveled to Saginaw Valley to take on the Cardinals. The Cardinals built a 4-0 lead before Ashland could score their lone goal. Jamie Green recorded the Eagle goal in the 69th minute, receiving a pass from Kelly Usher. The Eagles lost the contest 5-1 and were outshot by the Cardinals 12-7. The Eagles have fallen to SVSU twice this season, losing 1-0 in the first contest. The women have 3 more games left this season and are all at home. Brendan, that does it for women's soccer this week. How has the volleyball team been playing?
Well, the volleyball team entered their home matches with Ferris State and Grand Valley without a home loss this season. However, they left the 2 matches with a pair of losses. The Eagles appeared on their way to victory against Ferris State, winning the first 2 sets, 25-20 and 26-24. But the Bulldogs were able to rattle off 3 wins in a row and shut down the Eagles. Ferris won the deciding 5th set, 15-10. Junior Marina Santos had a whopping 24 kills and 20 digs in the match, and freshman Andrea Fritz knotted 49 assists. The next day, the Eagles had to take on the top team in the GLIAC, and I think we're getting tired of saying who that top team was. It was Grand Valley. The Lakers swept the Eagles in 3 sets. Ashland's best set was the first, in which they scored 23 points, but they lost the following 2 by scores of 25-19 and 25-18. Santos had 12 kills, and freshman Onicia Benton added 10. Freshman Arian Martin totaled 19 digs to lead the Eagles defensively. Matt, did the Eagles do any better at the GLIAC GLVC Challenge?
A clash between 2 Division II conferences started on Friday, October 17th in Indianapolis for the GLVC and GLIAC crossover tournament. The Ashland University volleyball team represented their conference well, defeating Missouri State 3-0 as the Eagles and Miners played a close first set, with Ashland pulling it out at the end 26-24. The second and third sets were competitive but did not finish quite as close, as AU won 25-20 and 25-21. Junior Marina Santos continued to lead the Eagle charge with 15 kills and 11 digs, and freshman Teresa Trucco also had 11 digs. On that same day, Ashland faced St. Joseph's. The Eagles fell behind in the match, losing the first set 25-18, but regained its composure and won the next 2 sets 25-22 and 25-14. Ashland then had to let down as St. Joseph's won the 4th set 25-14. This led to that 5th and deciding set, which saw the Eagles come out on top 18-16 in a very close match that went down to the wire. Ashland had 4 players in double figures in kills in the match for the first time this season. Junior Marina Santos and freshman Anicia Benton led all players with 18 kills apiece, and junior Brittany Jurchenko added 13 kills, while Carolina Goncalves tallied 11. The Eagles moved to 10-10 on the year with the win and finally reached 500. Did the Eagle winning ways continue in the tournament, Brendan?
Yes, Matt, the Eagles picked up right where they left off on Saturday morning. Ashland came out and topped Quincy in 4 sets. The Eagles took the first 2 sets but were never close in the 3rd set, losing 25-13. Ashland, though, regained that confidence and closed with a bang, winning the final set 25-12 for their 3rd straight victory. Santos, Benton, and Carolina Goncalves all had double-digit kills, and Martin and Brittany Yurchenko both had at least 12 digs. Next, the Eagles took on Wisconsin Parkside and quickly disposed of them in 3 sets. The closest set was the first, as the Eagles won 25-20. It was Santos and Goncalves again pacing the Eagles, each with 11 kills. Fritz added 35 assists, and Martin tallied 17 digs. The Eagles are now 12-10 overall and 4-7 in the conference. They are next in action this Friday and Saturday at Case Gymnasium to take on Southern Division opponents Hillsdale and Findlay. Well, that takes care of women's soccer and volleyball. Coming up, we'll take a look at cross country, tennis, and our first winter sport, swimming. We'll be back with more Game Time Situation right after this.
So, what have we got here? Sometimes you feel tired. You can't seem to lose those extra pounds off your midsection. And your joints hurt when you take the stairs. Well, you're getting older. But I'm happy to say that there's some simple things we can do to keep you happy and healthy for years to come. We can also lower your risk for some serious diseases the older population is often subject to. Proper nutrition is more important than ever. Your body has changed, you know. Not as many treats. A basic exercise plan, lots of walks and fresh air, and most importantly, come and see me for twice-yearly checkups to help ensure the best possible quality of life. Now, how does that sound? Good boy.
Improve the quality of life for your elderly pet. Schedule twice-yearly checkups that include preventive care and regular lab work. A message from the veterinary members of the American Animal Hospital Association.
Do you think you'd notice if you were missing half of your money, or half your friends, your better half, your half and half? What if you were missing half of your kidney function? You'd think you'd notice, but you could have chronic kidney disease right now and not even know it. According to the National Kidney Foundation, 20 million people have chronic kidney disease, and 20 million more may be at risk and not even know it. Chronic kidney disease is a growing epidemic. Anyone with high blood pressure, diabetes, or a family history of chronic kidney disease is at risk. Certain ethnic groups are at an even higher risk. Early diagnosis and treatment of this disease and its complications are vitally important. To get the whole story on chronic kidney disease, talk to your doctor and visit the National Kidney Foundation at kidney.org or call 1-800-622-9010 for a free brochure. Because when it comes to chronic kidney disease, you might not know the half of it.
Welcome back to Game Time Situation. The men's cross-country team placed 8th at the 2008 All-Ohio Cross Country Championships on October 10th in Delaware, Ohio. Among the NCAA Division II entrants, the Eagles were second behind only Malone, who won the overall event. Nick McQuillan ran the course in 26 minutes and 45 seconds and led the Eagles, finishing 39th overall. Cameron Johnson finished in 26 minutes and 48 seconds and placed 42nd overall. The Ashland women finished 24th in the field and 5th among NCAA Division II teams. Leah Allen was 85th overall, running the 5K course in 20 minutes and 1 second. Cedarville won the women's championship, and Cincinnati finished second in both men's and women's competition. Brendan, that's it for the runners. How's the tennis team been doing?
The AU tennis team improved to 7-2 overall on October 10th with a 7-2 victory over Michigan Tech. The Eagles struck with their singles play, winning 5 of the 6 singles matches. Freshman Victoria Gowdy improved to 9-0 on the season in second singles matches during team play with a 6-2, 6-2 win over Sylvia Overos. The next 4 single wins came from Paige Cooper, Sarah Tegner, Corinne Paisley, and Alexandra Ware. AU also took 2 out of 3 doubles matches to reach the score of 7-2. The duo of Gowdy and Cooper won first doubles, and Tegner and partner Krista Halicki won third doubles. The Eagles relied on sophomore Alexandra Ware to put them over the top in a 5-4 victory over Lake State. Ware fell behind in her first match against LSSU's Erin Whitehoff, losing the first set 6-2. She rallied back to win the second set 6-4, and then closed the match with a 6-3 victory in the third set. The win improves the Eagles to 8-2 on the season and 6-1 on the GLIAC. AU took 4 of the 6 singles matches. Freshman Paula Orozco won first singles 6-1, 6-4, and freshman Victoria Gowdy won second singles 6-4, 6-4. Sarah Tegner won 4 singles 6-1, 6-0, and Ware won 6 singles. Ashland took only 1 of 3 doubles matches with the duo of Gowdy and freshman Paige Cooper earning the 8-5 win. Matt, were the Eagles able to continue their winning streak?
The Eagle tennis team dropped its 3rd match of the season and 2nd in conference play on October 17th in an 8-1 loss to Grand Valley State. The Eagles now sit with a record of 8-3 overall and 6-2 in the GLIAC, while the Lakers improved to 7-1 overall and also 7-1 in the GLIAC. The only victory AU could manage was in first doubles, with the combination of Victoria Gowdy and Paige Cooper defeating Audrey Coopson and Jamie Openlander 8-6. Then on Saturday, October 18th, the Eagles clinched the third spot in the GLIAC regular season standings with a 6-3 win over Ferris State. In singles, freshmen Victoria Gowdy, Paige Cooper, and Sarah Tegner earned the victories. The doubles combo of Gowdy and Cooper won first doubles, freshman Paolo Orozco and sophomore Corrine Paisley won second doubles, and Tegner and junior Krista Halicki won third doubles. Brendan, that's what is happening on the hard courts. What went down in the pool this weekend?
The Ashland men's swimming team wrecked Findlay's early season with a monstrous 161-40 win. Chewy Vogel won in the 200 free and 100 butterfly, and he was a part of the winning 200 free relay team. Todd Polak, Jesper Madsen, Arthur Gueva, and Matt Cook and Eric Hackinson also won for the Eagles. Matt, how did the women's team do in the tank?
The women's swimming team came out kicking, get it, in their season opener as the Eagles defeated Findlay. Katie Moga enjoyed her opening night. She won the 200 freestyle and the 500 freestyle and was part of the 200 free relay that finished first as well. Allison Morgan took top honors in the 50 freestyle and 100 freestyle and was on the 200 medley relay that also finished first. Janice McCloskey won gold in the 200 IM and 100 butterfly.
All right, Matt, so we've got the baseball playoffs going on, the World Series, Philadelphia, and everybody's surprised, everybody's favorite right now, Tampa Bay Rays, playing in Tropicana Field tonight, Game 1. Scott Kazmir against Cole Hamels. How do you see this series playing out?
I think if anyone saw the Red Sox in the Rays series, I think personally this is going to be a very similar series. I think Tampa Bay has the ability to beat the Phillies because I truly believe champions have to beat the previous champions, and that's what the Rays did. In Tampa, there's a ray of light for them, and I think if they can get the job done at home, I think they win this series because they do get the home field advantage. I like them in 7, though, just like in the Boston series.
They do seem to have that moxie about them, that championship aura that really, I mean, it's eluded them for 10 years. They were stuck in the cellar. But I'm going to go with Philadelphia here. They seem to be the more experienced team, the team that was in the playoffs last year. They really struggled to get, I mean, they struggled in the playoffs last year badly, but now they've got that bullpen lined up perfectly. Brad Lidge has not blown a save yet this season. Ryan Howard in the middle has not hit these postseason, but he has some favorable matchups against that pitching staff in Garza and in Shields. So we'll see how that works out for the Phillies. But I think that offense can pull them through, and that bullpen for Tampa Bay was a little bit shaky in the postseason, especially against the Red Sox. So we'll see how that shakes out. But it'll definitely be a fun series, and you can't really root against either team. Both teams really starve for success, and it'd be nice to see either team win.
Yeah, I feel for the most part, this is my opinion. If you're a baseball fan, I think you're rooting for the Rays, unless you're a Phillies fan, just because it's that feel-good story of this year, postseason in general. It's been a great story, and I want to see another chapter written for the Rays in a positive way. So we'll see, and it starts tonight.
Yep, it sure would be nice to see them win it, or either team. Well, that about does it for this edition of Game Time Situation. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Remember, we'll be on air in 2 weeks on November 5th for another update on your AU athletics.
Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
Good night, everybody.